joined once again by Genie Milgrom, who has been here before talking about her very fascinating journey of tracing back her grandmother's back 22 generations now. Started as 15 when she wrote the book, and since she's gone even further, it's taken a lot of work to bring to light her secret Jewish ancestry. And nowadays, she is even launching a new project of digitizing rare papers from the time of the Inquisition to help others on their journey after she went through all of this alone for so long. Hello and welcome back.
Emily, thank you so much.
It's
exciting.
Good as always to see you. Welcome back to Israel, and I'm so happy we're able to kind of continue where we kind of left off before.
Sure.
We know you've spent decades tracing your family. You've since returned to Judaism, but talk about the importance of the Inquisition documents, because we know that conversions happen, names were changed, and it's very, very difficult. How did this all come about?
Well, it's like unraveling a spider web and not breaking it, because you can't break the lineage or you'll never be able to go back. So to be able to prove to anybody that you come from a Jewish lineage, you need to find a grandmother, a grandmother, a grandmother, a grandmother, and eventually that's through the Catholic Church. Eventually, you have to reach a place where they were Jews. So since there's no cemeteries and there's no, documents of any place else, no ketubot, nothing, you have to reach an Inquisition document where they were caught in the Inquisition practicing Jewish customs when they were supposed to be Catholics. And then that's the only way that you can say, aha, I'm a Jew because my lineage ends with this woman that is a Jew. And that is the only acceptable way to get to find it and be able to say, I found my Jewish lineage, is to hook up with one of those women.
And finding those documents, I mean, you were born in Cuba, so you speak Spanish, but it wasn't like so easy to find.
Well, even speaking Spanish, it's very hard to find because the documents in Spain and Portugal, they're not really digitized. All of the books that talk about this are out of print. And so even finding they're not even arranged in boxes in Spain well, it'll say like 1,300 and all the documents are in there. 1,400 and there's 1,400.
They didn't have files to spread. They didn't have the divisions that we have today in file cabinets.
So it was very, very difficult. So yes, I had to hunt my own down, and it took so long and it took so many years that I decided, you know what, this isn't fair. Other people have to be able to do this. I was able to find a lot in rare books that have been out of print. And that took me on the journey to say, you know what? I was lucky enough to be one of the few that found her lineage this way. And now I think I need to give back. And I started digitizing those rare antique books so that other people could get it. And that's what I've been doing for years and years and years. I mean, I literally am at this still today, 18 hours a day.
Let's talk about I know you recently went back to the 22nd generation from the 1391 Inquisition. People all talk about 1492, and Portugal was in the 1500s. But 1391 was also a major conversion time in history.
1381 and to 1391 was the most crucial period, because that is the one moment in history of the most mass conversions of Jews. And I guess it's something people don't want to talk about, but you have to go back to find your Jewish ancestor, and they have to have a Jewish name. They cannot be the Spanish names, because then you know that they were already converted. It can't be Flores and Alvarez and Rodriguez. It cannot be, because that wasn't a Jewish name. You have to get back to find them being Gabbai and Benzadon and all of these other Jewish names, and that would happen before 1391.
Wow. But even the names and the conversions, a lot of those names, the Rodriguez's and the names we're talking about, are kind of known to be names, Christian names that were taken on by former Jews.
Correct. But there were also old Christians, which is what it's called, because the converted were called new Christians. The old Christians, Garcia is one of the oldest old Christian names. And I found it in my family, and Rodriguez also can be an old or a new. People were buying the names, selling the names. The biggest spider web, you have ever seen in your life. So it takes a lot of tenacity. It takes a lot to be able to piece it together. And my idea was, okay, let me put this all on spreadsheets. Many spreadsheets, and later I'll figure out what to do with all these spreadsheets. So I got all of this information. Some spreadsheets have 10,000 entries. 3,000 entries, and now it's all coming together.
Wow. Let's continue quickly from getting back to the 1391 and beyond.
Right.
What is the difference between a Jew and a Judaizer?
So after Spain declared that they were Jew-free in 1492, anybody that was still practicing Judaism, they changed the name to be a Judaizer. So now they could say they were Jew-free because they were Judaizers.
I got it. And that's why when you say people were burned at the stake in the Inquisition, they were accused of Judaizing.
Judaizing. Practicing Judaism, but not being Jewish.
I got it. So that's the kind of the key shift. Now let's talk about these documents more. I mean, this is a really big deal that you found these. Talk about how other people who are watching that are starting to investigate their journey, and you can't just find it just by Googling your name. How are they able to find these documents and help
we're
themselves?
really excited. The American Sephardi Federation's arm of the Institute of Jewish Experience has taken on the chore of taking on my work of all of these years and years. So this material will be available up on their website on right a little bit after Rosh Hashanah, and you can go in there, and they have made programs that read across all of these things. I have the victims of the Mexican Inquisition, Cartagena, Colombia Inquisition, Canary Islands Inquisition, that I wasn't about to wait for somebody else to digitize, so I digitized what I could from rare and out-of-print manuscripts.
And it's great that the American Sephardi Federation is making this available. And why is it? We know it's important to you, but obviously it's so important to you that other people, are able to have an easier time discovering this. Why is this such a pivotal part of your being?
It is. It's my mission. It's my vision. It's everything, because there's so many people that write me, hundreds and hundreds. Please help me. Please, what do? I don't have the money to be traveling to Spain. And I see the angst. I see the anxiety. I read it every day. And I say, you know what? Nobody else seems to be helping these people. So while I'm still on this planet, I need to do this. It's just burning to do.
Something that your 22 grandmothers ago wanted you to do.
They are so proud of me. They are so proud. Yeah.
They are really proud. Jeannie, thank you so much as always for fighting the good fight to keep this topic alive and to help people on their journey of discovery.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
So much. Hey.